Hey everyone, today I'm going to talk about using essential oils in the garden for dealing with pest and fungal issues. Now, an essential oil is actually like the lifeblood of a plant, and it is the immune system of a plant, and it carries vitamins and everything that a plant needs. It's like its little circulation system, so it's equivalent to like our blood. You know what I mean? That's essential oil. So you can use these in the garden to serve a similar function for the plant, right? To help boost its immunity to certain things. And I'm going to talk about some popular ones and how to make an all-purpose spray. Now this is a plastic bottle. You never want to do that, so don't listen to me right now. You want to use glass whenever you can, because or like a medical grade plastic, because essential oils will degrade plastic. Really powerful at dissolving things that aren't meant to be, right? So this was just for illustration's sake. But all you want to do really is fill a bottle with water and leave some room for lots and lots of oils. And each oil does something similar, a little bit different. So by using a few, you can kind of get a broad spectrum thing happening. Be very careful when using this, especially if you're going to use lemongrass as one of the ingredients, because that can burn your leaves on a really hot day. So on an overcast, cloudy, coolish day, or later in the evening, although I don't like to spray plants with water in the evening because of molds and stuff that can develop, but try not to spray during a heat wave, let's say, if you can avoid it, or at least minimize where you spray, because this can be a little bit, with lemongrass anyway, it can be a little bit harsh. But these other ones are pretty broad spectrum and pretty mild for your plants, and it'll make them feel good and it will help them. So you can put things like oregano, any of the really strong herb oils like thyme, oregano will repel a lot of pests. Cedarwood is another popular one. Clove, now the cloves, the nutmegs, the cinnamons, that sort of thing, that's really good for fungal stuff. Now, of course, mushrooms are wonderful in the garden, right? Because that means things are decaying and growing and regenerating. But some, like when you get that white powdery mildew sort of thing happening, not cool, right? And that can spread easily and damage your entire bed. So using oils like clove and cinnamon are really, really good for that. So always include a little bit. Now, Thieves is a broad spectrum blend that has lots of oils that are excellent at repelling pests and certain funguses. So Thieves is just an easy one to do for your garden. And again, lemongrass, amazing broad spectrum, does a lot of things in the garden, but again, can burn your plants. So be very careful. Eucalyptus is a very good one to use. There's your nutmeg, we talked about that. Black pepper, believe it or not, will repel quite a few pests. And peppermint. Peppermint, load it up with peppermint, because peppermint is the most amazing broad spectrum. So peppermint is great for all sorts of pests. So maybe do like 20, 30 drops of each plus an extra 10 of peppermint. You know what I mean? That is a good way to go. So you don't need all of these oils. You can just use one. And if you're going to use one, use Thieves, because it's a blend of several, right? But any of these oils will do just fine in the garden. Just mix with water, give it a spray, and then you can add things as well. Like some people will put a quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and cinnamon. If you don't have the oil, for example, but you have ground cinnamon, if you get that powdery mildew, at least on the soil, you could sprinkle cinnamon directly on and around it, and that will kind of halt its spread. But again, with rain and erosion, you're gonna have to keep applying all of this stuff. And again, I'll say be mindful of when you add it. But doing this directly on the plant, either as a preventative or to deal with a pest problem as it arises, is incredibly effective. This stuff is also good to spray on yourself before you go in the garden. It will help you avoid ticks, and bites and things like that, at least minimize them, and very, very effective. But remember, the best defense against any kind of infestation is actual proper nutrition. So if the plant has a good immunity to begin with, it's less likely to get infested. So you want to do your compost teas, you want to amend the soil, add additives, vitamins, whatever it needs to be really, really healthy. But aside from that, these are a great ally in the garden, and it will keep you and your vegetables and your plants from getting toxic overload from the pesticides and stuff. So if you can prevent it with this or deal with it with this, you should. Have a great day.